Yeah, so so this has been shifted, and now I'll go to the control panel, click on the box and click enter. So I get control points basically. What I need is I need to increase the control points. Now here you can see one line, and these are the two control points. So this will help me giving it a kink, but I do not have any control point here. Like if I want to kink this, it will not be able to kink. So it will not be able to bend itself, or I will not be able to give it a seam allowance. So here what I'll do is I'll expand the control panel, and here we have insert kink, and just click on the body of the box and just click on this kink like this and click enter. So here we have two, we have one, and we have one. Now the next thing that I want to do is I will give this bag a shape. So I'll click on the control points, click on the bag, click enter, and I'm gonna start from here and slowly move up. Any sort of shape you can give. Giving this sort of a shape, and to the sides also, like here I'll give a shape to this as well, like this. So I've given this a shape. Now the next thing that I'll do is I can do the offset first. So let's do the offset. So offset surface. So here I'll just click on this one and go to the surface, and here I'm going to click on offset surface, and distance 1.5, loose yes, because I want the same mesh inside. I do not want a very heavy mesh inside, um, and flip inside. So I'll click enter, and I'll get something like this. Now since we did not close it, and that's the good thing that we did not close. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kink this inside. So I just click on the control points, click on this, click enter to get my control points out, and in the top view I'll just click on this, shift and click on this and move it inside, just very slight, not so much, and you can see it in the, because otherwise this is going to break, so we don't want this to break so much. So we just, the mesh is going to break, so that's it. This is how much I want to kink. And even in this, sometimes the inside body breaks. So when you are facing, like in my case it has broken, so here what we can do is I'll just go over to this surface and surface blend, and just click on the edge and just join it, and here I'm going to click on position, lock it, and that's it, something like this, so that this surface is connected. Now what we are going to do is I will surface edge this. Now this is a very tricky part where sometimes it does get you do get stuck when this piping sometimes doesn't fall in the right place. So let's see. So I'll do the surface blend here and click on this area, and I'll make sure that even this is clicked. I'll cancel this. So here I'm going to take this surface, click on this, and I'll do Control G. Let's see. And here it says creating mesh. So we'll try this once again. So chain edge, click this, click this, click this. And I hope everything is selected, and we click this as well. And then we click enter. And here, instead of, I'll lock this and I'll go to curvature. So you get something like this. Okay. Now, to the bottom, what we do is we basically now I'm going to add a planar curve here. So just select this and I'll go to surface, and here I will planar curve, click on this area and click enter. So basically my bottom is blocked, but I want to create a piping, some kind of a piping. So I'm going to duplicate this. So I'll just select this bottom portion and I'm going to use an offset here. So I use an offset surface, and distance I want 3. Click enter. Flip all, I want it inside, and I'll click enter like this. So I have something like this. Now I will use the surface blend to give it a piping. So I'll just select this area, surface blend, select this and select this. Yeah, so this problem arrived as in, the entire thing is not selected. So we'll do this again. We'll cancel this. So I will go over here, surface blend, chain edges selected, and let's select this one, and let's select this one, select this one, and here instead of position, because position gives a very flat surface, so I'll go for curvature, and I'm going to lock this so that they move equally inside like this. You can just select it, maybe move it a little bit like that. Now if you see this in the rendered view, so it's going to come like this. Now here what I can do is I'll go into the shaded view and I'm going to add stitching lines. So to add the stitching lines, I'll add 1 at the bottom and 2 at the top. So I'm going to extract iso curve. So I'll go to curve menu, go to curve from object, and then go to extract iso curve. I select here and add. Here what you can do is, if it's getting very rigid, what you can do is just click Alt and just add 1 line here, click enter, and I'll right click to repeat my command, click on the object. So I've added 1 line here and I want to add 1 more at the top. So I'll right click over here, extract iso curves, select the mesh, and I'm going to add 1 stitching line here and I'll add 1 stitching line here and click enter. So here I've added stitching lines. Now the next thing that I'm going to do here is, now I'll take the ellipsoid Instead of taking ellipsoid, I'll take sphere only. I'll just click on sphere, click around curve, and click here, somewhere here. Just click, and I'll just since the thread size is probably not more than 1 mm, so I'll go for 1 and click enter. Now here one thing I need to make sure, I need to take these lines, and I will make a new layer. Let's say I call this stitching lines, and I'll shift this to the stitching line. So I'll go to the properties panel, and here I'm going to shift this to stitching line. So I get a glue line like this, and I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. So here I have selected this layer, and I'll move it to the stitching line so that I can see it as well. And also this, because when I'm rendering it, I do not want to see the stitching line. So what I would do is I will create a new layer, and here let's say I go to layer 01, and I'll just type in stitch. So go to my properties panel and change that one to stitch. So this is a red. Okay. Now just stretch this a bit. So here I'm just stretching this. So I'll stretch this a bit like this, and I'm going to revolve it like this, so that and the next thing that I'm going to do is just select this and go to array curve, select on this line, and maybe the distance we keep it to 3 right now and see how it works. So I'll click OK. Now here I can make adjustments. Make sure your record history is on before you are doing so, and just adjust this line a bit. So I'll do this from here. Shift this, move this like this, and make this a little smaller. Move it a little bit like this, and I further move it little smaller, make it smaller like this. I make it like this, and I want to make this smaller like this. So whatever movement you're doing, it's gonna come everywhere. So I want to keep the same size. I want to maintain the same size, so we can see it in the rendered view first, that the stitching line is going fine. And I think this is going fine. It's not too much. So just make this. And if you feel that the stitching line is way too much, so you can always do the Control Z and see if that works. In my case, it's not working, so I'll just probably increase it, because I'm on second thoughts. Maybe I want this a little bit bigger. So I'm just shifting it. I'm doing it in the top view so that it comes out right. And I want this little thin like this. Yeah. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift this one over here. So I'm going to click Control C, Control V. Let's go to the shaded view and I will move this. So here we have the move command and I'm going to take this one, click and move it to this line. So basically, just see here. I hope I'm moving this in the. So I'm going to the in the front view. Click Shift. And make sure your end and near are clicked, so that you have an idea. Now we'll do the same thing. We'll do the array curve. Click and click on the baseline. This is the one. And let's keep it 3. Let's see. Yeah. So I didn't have to make any changes to this one. And what about the one that is down below? So here I'll do the same thing. I'll take this, Control C, Control V, and click on the move tool. So I'm just clicking here and I'm going to go over here to this one and see. So now I need to figure out where the stitching line is exactly. Maybe it's gone too much inside. So I just need to push it out a little bit. So first I'll select this one. And we can do this through scale, or let's just do one more thing. Just delete this one because it's gone too much inside. So let's keep the stitching line, and I'll do the right click, and I'd already done the extrude axo curve, so I don't need to go fetch for it anywhere. I already have it in my command menu. So I'm going to select this one and just add one stitching line here, and it should show. And this is the okay, this is my stitching line. It should go into the stitching line section, and it is showing this time. And I'm gonna select this one and go to the move command here and select this area and select over here. So it should be, now it's out. Okay. So just need to make sure, we need to adjust this a bit. We take this inside. So I'm going to take this inside a little bit, and maybe I'll revolve it a bit like this. Yeah. So it's half inside, half outside, like that. At least it should show like a stitching line. Probably move it a little bit, not so much. Okay. So just select it, right click. We are going to do the array curve. Click on the baseline. Distance between items. Make sure you do this. Number of items you never know, because you have no idea how many stitching lines you would have to put. So keep a ballpark idea that if you want a distance, say 3, and click OK. And you can see this in the rendered view. And here, see, I have the blue line. So now what I can do is I can just simply go to my stitching lines and just don't have them. So I can see these stitching lines. I can see this one, but no line, baseline. So that's the good thing of, just dividing your layers. So in the next video, we're going to learn how to make the inside pocket and we're going to learn how to make the outside pocket.